Hey guys, Skippy here. Okay, I'm trying to keep my promise and do more videos or uploads. Okay, we're gonna start with January of 2024. At the end of December, I moved from Pratanak to Nha Jamtien. Um, it's if you've probably heard of Jamtien, well, Nha Jamtien is the next, I guess, the beginning of the next province down. Uh, Pratanak, Pattaya City, all that is Chonburi. Uh, where I moved to now, Jamton, is in Satahip, and I guess that's a province or district. I'm not 100% sure about that, but in any case, it's not too far. I'm going to try to show you this right here. Okay, so here's central Pattaya right here. Walking streets right about here. And so if you know where Walking Street is, you know where that's where all the action is, or the I call it crazy town. Um, that's why I moved to Pratamnak, which is right here, and it's a lot more quiet than Central Pattaya. So when my lease was up, I was looking for a new place. I wanted to spend the same amount in rent. I wanted to spend 10,000, and it's doable, but you got to be a little flexible where you're going to live. You got to take a lot of things into consideration. Like, yeah, I moved further away. If you're the type that's going into Central Pattaya every day, this probably isn't a good idea for you. For me, I might go into Central Pattaya once a week, so taking a bolt once a week, or you can get a bot bus, which I'm going to show you that too. You can take a bot bus all the way up there. If you look at the current travel times, it's about from Pratamnak about at this time of day, 22 minutes or not 20 minutes, let's call it. So to get from Pratamnak to Pattaya City is like another I'm just going to say you can get from Nha Jampton, or where I lived at the Seven Seas Côte d'Azur. You could get to Central Pattaya 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Depends what's going on. If there's a big thing like the fireworks festival, forget it. You're probably not going to get there unless you have your own motorbike, because Bolt was going to be tied up. But it's a preference thing, obviously. So I like my quiet, and when I want to go to Crazy Town or Central Pattaya, I do. Here's just obviously you can see this is Kolarn over here. Get an idea where we're at. So let's go down to where I moved to. So if we zoom in a little bit, I can show you the whole condo complex here. Okay, so right there, let me back out one. This right here is the Seven Seas Côte d'Azur condo. I mean, it's fairly sizable. There's three pools in between these buildings. They have everything. They got a coffee shop. They got a 7-Eleven. These are actually part of the building. They have a restaurant inside there, which is, I think, good. It's not great, but it is like a higher end type restaurant, so it's not cheap either. But it's convenient when you need something you don't feel like going on a bolt. And also out in front here, there's plenty of street food vendors that hang out there. There's a couple little Thai restaurants. There's plenty of dining options. Um, now, okay, if you want to take a bot bus, what you're going to have to do is you come out the front where, say, this coffee shop is. You're going to walk up this road, go up to here, okay? And this basically here is the end of Jompton Beach Road. It ends here, right around this poop and seafood. The bot buses will stop here. They stop running, they turn off. Um, and then right down here now Jompton starts. So it's like this is the dividing line between Jomtien and Chonburi and Na Jomtien and Satahit. So anyway, you could walk up to this area to poop and seafood in about 10 or 15 minutes, depending on your pace. And you could find a bot bus here up here at some point. It may take you a little bit because this is the end of the line, so uh, just be advised. Easy enough to take Bolt, anywhere else. But just so you know, there is that option of a bot bus, especially if you're going to go into, this here is Jumpton Beach Road, Dongtan Beach, Jumpton Beach. All this is Jumpton Beach Road, and there are tons of bars, restaurants, main areas probably up here for entertainment, but it exists. So you could take a bus up here or a quick Bolt motor taxi, and you're going to find everything you're looking for here that you would find in Central Pattaya on a smaller scale. All right. So anyway, that's where I moved to. I'm going to try to go in a little bit and show you where I moved to. This is the Seven Seas Côte d'Azur. In my opinion, it's a beautiful condo. I'm going to just show you a few pictures. I got all these pictures off the internet. I'm not gonna. I probably didn't even take personal photos of the place other than when I moved into the condo for damage reasons. Make sure I didn't get. Make sure I wanted my deposit back. So this is the website if you want to go look at it. This is the layout. So they call them, I guess it's what French, Mediterranean. Yeah, nice, I guess. Anyway, Monte Carlo. Okay, so this is where I was in Building A, facing the street and facing the ocean is that way. And I did have a partial ocean view. That was nice. There's a small balcony. Uh, this is just some photos of what the condo looks like. They're definitely accurate. Uh, they have some sailboats in the pool. Yeah, the chess thing. Just some photos. This is one of the smaller pools, but it's still very nice. You can swim all around the complex. More photos of pools. Some of these condos on the bottom, they might be two bedrooms, um, have direct pool access, which I would have liked to have had that. I was on the eighth floor. Just some random photos here. Okay, so these photos I took off of, I'm not endorsing anything here. I have no connection to Seven Seas or where any of these photos came from. I'm just using them for illustration purposes. Photos aren't that great, but there's a nice size bathroom. It's not huge, but it's got a nice big shower. It has a rain shower. It also has the handheld, of course, your toilet with your bum gone. You can't really see the sink here, but it's got a decent sink. It's not huge. This is a small condo, um, very small. It's what I wanted. I wanted a small condo. I was by myself at this point, or soon to be. And, I just wanted a small condo. It's easier to clean, although this time I did have somebody clean it for me, like every 2 weeks or maybe even once a month. And I kind of did a little bit of cleanup, but I had this girl come in and do a deep clean. And then I would just kind of maintain that. Anyway, bathroom, bedroom. It's got a huge king bed, which I really love that. I mean, the bath, again, this is a small, back here is where the bathroom is. This is the bedroom. There's not much. These pictures are taken with a wider angle lens. So look, you know, it's small, I'm telling you. I'd have to look up the square meters, but I'm going to think about, I don't know, 30 square meters. Very small, 30 square meters. I mean, if you're really interested, you go to the website, take a look. Here's a view if you were standing in front of the balcony looking, that's the exit door. But it's got a kitchen, little two-burner stove, decent amount of storage here, decent size fridge, microwave, and then the other side of it is this. That's the door to the bedroom. Balconies out here. There is a washing machine. There's a little table down here. Now, here's what I like about this. It's very small, and I'll have to look up the square meters. As a matter of fact, if we go to the Seven Seas website, let's see, what is the one bedroom? If it tells us, uh, okay, they don't really tell you, but it's something like 30 square meters as far as I can make out. Uh, I can go back. It doesn't really matter. So anyway, where were we? Bedrooms here, and what I like about it, even they did an excellent job designing this condo, in my opinion, because it's so small. But they were able to put a one bedroom here. So your bathroom, shower, all that's in the bedroom. You have a door here that shuts, a nice solid heavy door. There's air cons on either side, so you have two air cons. Um, and this is fully furnished. All these condos look exactly the same inside. That's the way it is with this condo. The condo has furnished them. I did not like the couch. It was small. It does fold out into a bed. It was not super comfortable. That would be my only complaint. Um, my view outside from the eighth floor, I could see in between two other condos, so I had a partial ocean view. That's how close you are to the ocean. 5 minute walk to get to the water. So anyway, that's the condo. Um, let's go right into budget time. All right, January 2024. I was still on a 90,000 baht budget at this point because I was this is I was moving from December into January. I think my con December 20th, I think I actually moved into the condo, if I'm recalling correctly. Anyways, this month is 90,000. You'll see next month I've lowered my target budget to 80,000 baht. So let's continue with January. All right, so 90,000, 10,000 for rent. The electric's looking low here because it was like a weird partial payment. I do have government rate at this. I do have to pay for water here. And I have a feeling they were kind of ripping people off on the water because while the electric, you get an actual bill from the electric company, the PEA. You pay it yourself. It's between you and the electric company, basically. Water is charged by the condo. And I found the water prices here to be a little high. I think they try to play it off as well. We have to maintain the pools and everything else. What are you going to do? This 340 water bill, I kind of have a feeling that might have something to do from an old tenant. But you'll see the water cost in this condo. I think it's too expensive. Uh, Food, miscellaneous. You see, I took out something here. And I forget exactly what it was, but it'll come to me. 22,510. I went over 39,000. Entertainment. That's playing golf or whatever you consider entertainment in Pattaya, um, or Jomtien or Thailand. Up to you. Some people play golf. Some people like to hang out with the girls. At this point, I still had the girlfriend. That should drop off next month. It does drop off next month. Insurance, medical. I budget 7,000 for that, and I'm going to get more into insurance and medical stuff later. But I want to get through these 2 years of budgets before I start talking about that. So I spent 3274 out of the 7,000 projected. Probably doctor's appointments, prescriptions, anything related to that. Bot bus, I was going back and forth between Pratt and Mac a lot. So I did go over 1825 projected, 2540 spent. Visa, we talked about this many times. I'm not going to keep harping on that. Clothes, nothing. Massage, haircut, nothing. Still had the girlfriend at that point. Cleaning, nothing at this point. Laundry, zero. There's a washing machine there. That's so nice to have. So the two things that you should ask when you're moving into a condo: does it have a washing machine, and does it have government electric? Internet. I'm not sure how this got to 480.61. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I do have to pay for internet in this condo. Internet is no longer free. So I paid, I think it was NT was the name of the company. I basically paid for a year of internet service and broke it up over 12 months, and that's what it came to. Phone is still 208.33. And the good news is, out of my 90,000 budget, I came in under 236 baht and 64 cents. I have to say I'm very proud of that. I came in under. Not without like last June having to go to the home for the family emergency. So anyway, there's where it is. Good news on January. Let's move to February. Okay, February, you can see I dropped my budget from 90,000 to 80,000 baht. I've always planned on doing that. My grandiose vision was the first year I would spend 90,000, the second year I would spend 80,000 a month. These are all a month. And then the third year I would move to 70,000 baht and see how that went. And if it went well, see if I can go below. So, all right, let's move on. 80,000, 10,000 baht a month for rent. That won't change. Electric, I budget 3,000 because I like to use the aircon. Came in at 1837.25. Water 340. Uh, you'll see how this whole water thing shakes out later. Food miscellaneous. Now that is 22,510 budgeted. Spent 35,116. You know, that includes going out to restaurants. So if I was going out and getting steaks and nice dinners, that accounts for a lot of that. New category, the bar. Okay, you notice the girlfriend's gone at this point. So the bar. This is what I would spend in a bar. This is not going out to a restaurant. This is going out with my friends in Central Pattaya. If we're hanging out at a bar, drinking, these are basically drinks. Okay, whether I'm buying people drinks or not, whatever. Now that the girlfriend's gone, we have the fun bucks budget. Now those fun bucks can be spent on whatever you want to spend them on. If you like to hang out with the ladies, or you like scuba diving, you like golfing, up to you. I budget 20,000 baht for that. I spent 21,320. Insurance and medical. Again, I'm gonna get more into this whole thing later. I budget 7,000. I spent 2320. Bot bus. Again, a little over on that. I'm further out now than I was before. I should have probably adjusted this a little bit. I budget 1825. Did 2740. Visa costs. Talked about that. Clothes, nothing. Massage and haircut. Looks like I got a haircut and a couple massages. Cleaning. Okay, I pay a girl 850 baht per month to come in once a month, and she does like a deep clean. I mean, she cleans everything. She'll also, if your bed needs to be changed and you have clean sheets, she will go ahead and change the bed for you. Excuse me, change the bed for you. She's very good. If anybody needs a good cleaning lady, um, I will PM me or send me a direct message or DM. I will send you her contact information. I don't really want to put it publicly like that unless she gives me permission, which I will ask her. Laundry, zero. Have a washing machine. Internet, talked about that. I paid NT internet for 1 year, just divided it up by 12. 208.33 for the phone, and only over by 64 baht and 19 satang. I call that a win. You know, I'm just going to say I spent 80,000 baht that month. So, you know, this is why I do this to help me get to these points. Where can I change? What can I do different? You know. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that because this is kind of a longer video with the introduction and all that with the new condo. Anyway, that's January and February. March and April up next. Thanks for watching.